Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learning Online and Mobile Banking Tools Part 2. This is Part 2, actually, in our series of showcasing how to use our online and mobile banking tools so that you are more efficient and proficient in utilizing and being able to connect with our credit union. Today, our host is Solange Araujo. She is our digital lead specialist, and she's going to be taking you through some examples such as how to utilize Zelle, online banking, and money management. So we're very excited to have her here today. I just want to remind everybody that today, actually with all of our webinars, we do record them. And we also make sure probably about a week after that you do get a sample of that recording. That way that you can always reference any type of elements, etc., or go back and take some key learnings. After our survey today, or after our event today, we're going to be sending you a survey. Your opinion is extremely important to us. So please make sure you fill that out, as we love to hear from you. During the event today, we have a Q&A bubble at the bottom. It's like two little bubbles where if you have questions, please don't hesitate to put those questions there, because our fabulous team that is working behind the scenes will be answering those during the event. If there's no additional questions or anything else like that, I would love to pass the baton over to Solange, who's going to take you through all of these amazing tools at your fingertips. Solange, I pass it to you.
Thank you, Marilyn. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining again. Welcome back. Today, I'll be showing you a few more online banking tools that we have here, starting with my personal favorite, money management. Can everyone see my screen okay? I think I was sharing before we started. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So money management, you can find it right here in the middle of our main menu. Money management is really cool because it's a platform that gathers all of your financial data and gives you a snapshot of your financial health based on your spending, your assets and liabilities, not only of your accounts in the credit union, but also accounts that you have anywhere else in other financial institutions, including loans, investments, property, absolutely everything. So you will find it right here in the middle of our main menu. And at first, it will have you accept the terms of service. And then it will auto-populate just with the accounts that you have with the credit union. And then you can aggregate more accounts as you go. So here, first I'll show you the accounts tab. It will list all of the accounts that you have aggregated. And here on the right, you categorize them by checking, saving, investment, property, credit card, anything that you aggregate. And on the left, on the left, it will show you the overall balance that you have for each kind of account. And now I'm going to be showing you how to add a new account, right? You go here on add an account on the top right, and then you click continue, and you will search for the account that you would like to aggregate. In this example, we'll be aggregating, let's say, our credit card. So when you type IDB for IDB Global, let's say, it will show you the accounts that use this name. In our case, this is the account that we use to log into our credit card. If you have a credit card, you're familiar with Connect Tap Online. Once you aggregate Connect Tap Online, then you won't need to go somewhere else to edit it and see your balances. You still need to go there to pay your credit card bill, but to just see your balance, money management can take care of that. Once you type in your credentials for Connect Tap Online, money management will make sure to sync with that account, and it will show you an updated balance. So right now it's verifying the credentials. When you type in your credentials, it will be synced and connected at money management. And once it verifies the credentials, it will connect. So you go and continue. And then when you go back here to this list, you will see that on the category credit card, there's a new account here that was just added, which was the credit card. So this credit card balance here will be added to the summary of all of your balances, and this number here will increase. Likewise, if you want to, you may want to remove any of the accounts that you have here. You can do that by clicking on this bank icon on the top right, and then you look for the account that you would like to disconnect. You click on it and you select disconnect institution. When you do that, you can also select a reason why and disconnect. So when we go back here to where credit card was, it is no longer here. So you can add as many accounts as you want. The more accounts that you add, if you have all of your external accounts here, then it will give you a really accurate snapshot of your financial health, because you will gather all of your balances that you have, and it will show you the balances and many other details on the other tabs that I'm about to show you. One thing that it's really cool too is that you can add manual accounts. So any accounts that may not be associated with an online platform, you can add them to as a manual account. So let's say here on our demo account, we have property. We have a home. Let's say that this home has been paid off, so you don't have to pay mortgages on this home anymore, and it's not in here as a mortgage. It's here as a property. And let's say your home appreciates and it's no longer worth $275,000. It's worth more. You can click on it, go here and edit details, and then add the new value of your property if it appreciates. And then the same thing you can do with, let's say, a car. If you have a vehicle that will be depreciating, as it's a depreciating asset, you can go here too and edit details and also change the value of your car. You can do that, and you can also add, let's say, you can add a cash account. Let's say you have money in your wallet that you would like money management to account for. So let's say I have $500 in my wallet. I can add that here, and I can also add the name for my account will be a wallet. So I can save that. The only thing with a cash account is that since obviously it's not connected to a platform, you would have to edit this whenever you spend money from a manual account, which you do the same way that you do with the other one that I showed you. Let's say I spent $100 out of this $500. So now I will manually update it to 400 and so on and so forth. That's only if you would like money management to also account for the cash that you have that is not connected to a platform. So this is where you would see all of your accounts. You can always also filter them if you don't want all of your accounts to show. You can select and deselect at any time. The next tab that I want to show you is transactions. And this is the coolest thing about money management. I love that money management will automatically categorize all your transactions. So from all of these accounts that you see on the accounts tab, any activity that happens on those accounts will reflect on the tab transactions. So it will log and categorize each transaction made with any of the accounts that are aggregated. And you can filter this, and you can also select a different time range. Let's say, let's look at all of the transactions from July. So I'll select next month, but you can select anything here. You can customize to show only a specific week. You can select a range that is pre-established here. We're using last month. Let's apply that and see all of the transactions for July. So money management will typically, categorize your transactions very accurately, but sometimes maybe it gets it wrong and you would like to change it. So let's say Smith's is groceries, Aspen Salon is hair, everything good with here. You can review them, and let's say Walmart was accurately categorized as groceries because Walmart is a grocery store. But on July 14th, specifically on that Walmart trip, where I spent $86.74, let's say that it was not for groceries, I actually bought a gift. I can change this category. And if I search for gift, there is a category also called gift, and I will change that. And then it will ask me, do you want all of future Walmart transactions to be categorized as a gift? I'll say no. I'll say this time only, because I'll usually go to Walmart for groceries, but this time specifically, I went there to buy a gift, and I would like money management to account for a gift, not for groceries. You see later how we can use those categorizations. So I'll hit this time only, and now this Walmart transaction changed to gift. So this is really cool. If you would like to export all of your transactions for a certain time range, you can always click here on export CSV, and it will give you a spreadsheet with all of your transactions for whatever time range you chose, which is pretty cool. You can always add a transaction that is not logged here. For instance, if it's a transaction from a manual account, let's say I spent that money from my wallet, I can just say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I want money management account for that. So I selected wallet. I'll say I spent $10 for my wallet, and it was with, it was an ice cream that I bought. So, or let's say it was coffee that I bought. So I can categorize that and save. Sorry, was at Starbucks. Add a payee. And then I can also add a memo, coffee, right? I will save. And it gave me the coffee. I don't know if I selected a date, but my coffee transaction will show somewhere here. If you're trying to look for a specific transaction, let's say I want to search for Spotify and see how much I spent. I spent $10.99 on Spotify on July 5th. I would also like to see how much I spent on Spotify for the whole year so far. I can change the rate, the range, and Money Management will give me a list of all of the Spotify transactions that it found throughout my accounts. So here are all of the Spotify transactions since January. I've been charged for Spotify consistently every month for the same amount. And you can do that for any transaction you would like. You can use this search bar to search. The next tab that I want to show you is the spending tab, which will give you a wheel, and it will categorize your spending by these 6 categories. And you can always add a new category if you're spending money that doesn't apply to any of these categories. So the wheel would have different colors for different categories. Here, for instance, is home, and you can click in the middle to view the transactions for this specific month. Here, we're selecting August, and we're only on August 4th, so it's not going to show you too many different transactions. But if you select just July, let's say, it will give you a lot more spending. So for instance, home in July, I spent on my mortgage and also at Home Depot. And then you can see here food and dining, all of the transactions on food and that were categorized as food and dining. And then so on and so forth. There are many other categories. And then it will show you what was the payee and what was the amount and everything. And you always have the option to export the transactions if you need. The next one that I would like to show you is budgets. Budgets is one of my favorites because it's really fun and interactive to play with these bubbles. What happens here is, let's choose July, for instance. You have green bubbles for anything that you haven't arrived to, that you're still under budget for. You have yellow bubbles for things that you are approaching that limit, that budget, and you have red bubbles for things that you are already over budget on. So let's say, for instance, food and dining. My budget for food and dining was $650, but I've spent $1,550. So this means that maybe my budget is a little outdated. Let's say my family grew. I'm no longer spending this amount. I'm now spending a lot more. So I'll say that, you know what, I think my budget from now on will be $1,500, let's say $1,600. So since I changed my budget, I am now under budget for food and dining, or actually rather approaching my budget. And my food and dining bubble changed to yellow. It will also show me that I'm close to arriving it with this outer rim here. It tells me that I'm closing to arrive at my bubble. And for the green ones, I'm good. You can always edit your budget if you don't feel like it's accurate enough. You will also see the transactions just like on the other tab. You can see the transactions at any time. So you can add a new budget from a different category. But if these are accurate and these represent what you're spending your money on, you can leave this. There's a little bubble here for Pat, spending $30 a month for Pat. So far, I haven't spent any money on my Pat yet. So I am green for Pat. And then there's a bubble for kids, which I am over budget already. So you will see lots of cool things to do here on this tab. And it's cool too to compare to other months, how the bubbles grow, change colors to see what your budget, how you were doing with your different budgets throughout the months. And the next tab that I want to show you is trends. Here, it will show you how consistent or inconsistent your spending have been for along the months and by category as well. So you always, it separates by different categories here if you want to see one at a time, or typically it will show all of them at once. You can also change to see your trends for 3 months, along 6 months, along 9 months, along a whole year, and see when you were spending more or less money. So you see that some spending will be pretty consistent, and sometimes you will shoot up for whatever reason. In November 2020, for instance, spend a little bit more with home. And income too will be pretty consistent unless you get a raise or a bonus. Then you note a bump. You note a bump anywhere that you spent more money along the months. The next one that I want to show you is debts. Here, it will take from all of your loan accounts. It will show you the balance, the APR, and also tell you when you're projected to pay off that balance. And you will also list via by priority. So this is the biggest one. So this is the one that you should be paying the most on. It will also give you really good recommendations to pay. Let's say you can use the snowball method. It will help you out on how to do that and how to pay off your debts faster, which is really cool. You can always, as always, you can always filter your accounts if you don't want some accounts to show and other accounts to show. The next tab I want to show you is net worth. This is a demo account. So the net worth of our demo account is $44 million, is a multi-millionaire here, hypothetically. You can see your net worth for a 6-month range, 9-month range, or 1 year range. And just like the trends, it will show you when your net worth increases or decreases. And you can click on it to find out why it increased or decreased. You will show here that in January 2021, you can click to see what happened here. You can see that the most credits that you have are for these 2 categories. And when you click, let's say this one, my net worth shot up here because my home appreciated by $45,000. So that's why I became richer. And in this case, it decreased a little bit. It decreased by $593.79. And when you click on it, you can always see why these losses, gains and losses. The next tab is goals. In goals, you can set up goals for yourself. And there are some goals here on this account. And as you scroll up, you see goals well in the future. And as you scroll down, you see goals that are more short term. This is how you add a goal. You click on the plus add goal, and then you can add a goal for savings, for paying a debt, or to retire. Let's say I want to add a savings goal for vacation. Here's the information that you can add about your goal. Let's say the goal name will be Rome. We want to go to Rome, and we will need, let's say, $45,000 $40,000. And this is the account that I would be using to pay for that vacation. So you save. And now my goal is right here. It's set to be accomplished in 2025. And it looks like I am good to start saving to Rome, and I will be saving enough by June 2024. That's when I will have this amount of money to travel. If you are not selecting a goal that is realistic, then money management will have a little exclamation mark to let you know that maybe you should be contributing more to that in order to achieve that goal. So it's pretty cool. You can set however many goals you like, and then it will tell you when you're most likely to achieve that goal. And then last but not least, we have cash flow. Cash flow this hasn't been set up yet. On cash flow will pick up all of your recurring payments in order to tell you a prediction of how much you can expect to have it based on your spending. So let's say I'm adding Comcast, I'm adding Geico, auto loan payment. You can add each one of them. You can account for your salary, health insurance, all of that good stuff. And then you will show here your total balances, and then how much you would be spending with dates, how much you'll be spending, and how much you will be making based on the transactions that it picked up. But again, if you don't have a lot of accounts aggregated, and if you haven't used money management for some time, then it may take some time for money management to pick up on all of those spending habits and all of those new transactions. So in order to see this much data, you would have to use money management for a few months before you can start really taking advantage of all of these really cool features here. Okay, so the next thing I would like to show you is credit score. And let me relog on here because it kicked me out. Sorry about that. Let's log in here again. So you can find credit score right next to money management, and you also see the widget here. The widget will also give you an updated credit score. You don't have to always navigate into credit score, but you can if you want to see your full report and everything else. You go here on our main menu where it says credit score. Credit score is also really cool. It will first ask you to read the terms of service and accept them, because TransUnion is not going to just be pulling your information without your acknowledgement. So you have to enroll in credit score. And also it's important reminder that credit score will only work if you have a social security number on file with us. And if you have some credit history as well. If you have a social security number, but no credit history whatsoever, then you won't see much information here. So let's start with the score analysis. In this case, our demo account's credit score is 753, which is a good score. Credit score, this tool always have a tooltip here if you want to learn more. Here it shows that it's scaled by excellent, good, fair, unfavorable, and deficient. So you always want to make sure that your credit score is good or excellent, of course. And you can always refresh if you don't think that it's updated. So here in the score analysis, you see your score rating, and it will tell you that you're 28 points from having an excellent rating. And it will also show you what are the things that will impact your credit score. So there are the total balances or revolving accounts that you have, delinquencies or installment accounts that you have, and overall balances. So when you go here on payment history is the most important one. It accounts for 40% of your credit score is based on payment history. So you always want to make sure that you pay all of your bills on time, very consistently, so that this doesn't drop to a grade B or C. If it does, then surely your credit score will be much lower if you keep missing payments. So in this case, all 17 accounts are paid on time. There are no late payments in the last year, and it's been 9 years and 5 months since the last delinquency. So this makes it for a grade A. And the recommended actions are that you always pay your bills on time, catch up on any late payments, contact a lender if you cannot afford your monthly payments, using no more than 3 or 4 credit cards, and because that's easier to keep track of payments and due dates. Now, for credit usage, our demo account is not doing very well. It has a grade C, and credit usage accounts for 23% of your credit score. So it has a big impact. And we can see here that the reason why it has a grade C is because it's going way too close to its limits. So the total credit limit for this account is $16,500, and we're using really close to that. So in most credit cards, going over 50% of their limit, which is you should absolutely always avoid to be using more than 50% of your credit limit. In fact, you should always keep it under 30%. But in this account, we are going over 30% and even over 50% in many accounts, which will affect your credit score big time. So the recommended actions here is that you try not to use more than 30% of your available credit, that you reduce your spending and pay off as much as you can, and keep unused cards open. So don't close unused cards because that would reduce your total available credit. Something else that also impacts your credit score is the account mix. So in this account, we have here many different kinds of loans. We have real estate, auto loans, student loans, credit card, everything. So that makes it for a grade A, and it counts for 11% of your credit score. If you only have one kind of loan, then you may not have a grade A. You may have a grade B if you only have credit cards, or if you only have one student loan. If you don't have a variety of credit types, then you may have a grade B or C. But in account mix, we're doing great because we have many different accounts here. So we got grade A. And credit age is also something that impacts credit score a lot. It accounts for 21% of your credit score. And we see here that the oldest account is 13 years. So that's really good. It shows lenders that you've had credit for a really long time. And that if you have been paying them on time, then you're safe to lend to. The longer your credit history are, the better. So maybe if you just arrived in the country and you don't have a lot of history of a credit history, you may have a grade B or C just because your credit is still very young. But if you started taking loans at a young age, for instance, and if you had credit for a really long time, and then you were most likely to have a grade A here. Have patience and keep accounts in good standing. Your score will keep getting better over time. Keep your credit cards open, especially cards you've had a long time. So if you have credit for a really long time and you still have the very first credit card that you've opened, then don't close it because that's a good thing. And inquiries will also show here. 5% of your score is based on the number of recently opened credit accounts and credit inquiries. Every time that there's a new inquiry, your credit score may go down slightly, but if you haven't had an inquiry in a really long time, then you should be grade A. So this is the score analysis. There's still a lot more that this feature offers. Let's go over credit report. The credit report here, which you can also download, it will give you spreadsheet as well if you want to download. It has a summary of your open accounts, total balances, monthly payments, and any delinquent or derogatory accounts that you have, as well as inquiries. So here we'll list all of your credit cards. And if you expand showed closed accounts, will also show you your closed credit cards. It will show you real estate loans. It will show you auto loans, and also all of the closed ones that are no longer. There are many auto loans here. Student loans, and so on and so forth. And also any inquiries. You can see here that they are from a long time ago. Then all of your information. If you see any errors, you can click here to start a dispute with TransUnion. And the score simulator, which works better in another account. Let me log into that to show you. It will show you what happens to your credit score when you pay off your balances, or when you increase your credit limits, or if you miss a payment, all of that, or if you close your oldest account, all of that will impact your credit score. And I'll show you how. So let me show you score simulator. Sorry, I think I took it to the wrong. Here it is. So here you will see that if you get a new loan, let's say, see that I have my current score here, and then this is the simulated score. And each person will have a different simulator. So what it shows here for me, my score going up or down, does not mean that it would be the same for you, because each score and each report is different. So it will impact each person's score in a different way. But let's say I got a personal loan for $15,000. See what happens here, that my credit score went down 7 points if this happens. This is just a simulator. It's not actually impacting my credit score in any way. You can play as much as you want with this tool. It will not impact your credit score directly, only if you actually, act on the simulation. If you actually get a personal loan, $15,000, then it may have an impact of this sort with your credit score. Let's say I get a new credit card limit with a new credit card with the limit of $20,000. That's going to make my credit score go down by 3 points. Let's say I want to transfer my credit card balance to a new card. I'm going to be moving up $1,000. That's going to increase my credit score by 8 points. Or let's say you have a new inquiry from a credit card application. If you toggle here, this is going to, as I said before, new inquiries will only decrease your credit score slightly and for a little bit. Here, balancing your managing your balances. If you increase a balance on a credit score, let's say I spent $2,000 more on my credit card, my score is going to be going down by 56 points. If I raise my credit card limit, let's say my new limit is $30,000 now, my credit score will be going up by 10 points. If I pay a balance, let's say I pay $2,000 on my credit score, it's going up 11 points. If I pay off all of credit card balances, it goes up by 11 points too. And if you close the oldest credit card, look what happens. It goes down by 45 points. So that's not a good idea. Don't close your oldest credit card unless you absolutely have to. Manage payment activity. If you miss a payment, let's say on one account for a month, it will go down 143 points. So this is also not a good idea. This is good for playing and then seeing, and it will help you make decisions based on the simulated score that you get. It does not mean that you have to follow exactly what the simulation says. You should also do some research, talk to your lender, and so on and so forth. Let's all now go to loans and offers. Here it will show you many different credit offers that are just based on a credit score. This doesn't mean that you qualify for these offers. It just means that based on your credit score, you are welcome to apply for them, because you're likely to have them if you're likely to get this loan if your credit score is favorable. Although there are many other factors that go into getting a loan or not, based on your lender and based on many other things in your report. For instance, credit score is absolutely not the only thing, but these are offers that you are welcome to apply for based on your score. Let's say I am interested in refinancing my auto loan. I may or may not qualify for that, but my credit score says that I can at least apply. When you click here, you see all of the different offers that you have, and then it will show also, it will pick up on what is your APR for that loan, which if it's not accurate, you can always edit here. If it's accurate, then you can be using this information to compare. So for instance, right now, your auto loan APR, you're paying 4.05% APR. And then with IDB Global Federal Credit Union, your APR will be 1.63%, meaning that you save this in APR. It will also show your monthly savings and your interest savings. So if you're interested in this offer, for instance, you can apply, you click apply now, and then start your auto loan refinance application here. It will show you much more information that you can analyze, review, and make up your mind. It will also give you other offers for personal loans, credit cards. You will always show what is the APR of the product that you're being offered. And I can show you here how I already have the credit card, so it's not showing me. But it will show you the monthly payments and more information on that loan. The tab alerts will also tell you every time that that you miss a payment, or that your score goes up or your score goes down. You can manage your alerts so that you receive these notices on your email as well. Every time that your credit score goes up or down, you can receive an email notification with it. It will tell you every time that there's any sort of change in your credit usage or your payment history, and so on and so forth. And then last but not least, the tab resources will give you lots of information about how to better manage your credit, how to make sure that you always have good credit, and how to monitor it. When you click view all, you will see a long list of really good articles to learn more about managing your debts, spend money, and so on and so forth. It's really, really cool. Now, to make sure that I have all of that I show you all of the tools that we're going to be, this is the wrong one, let me go. Here, let me show you Zelle now. Log back on because it kicked me out. Go. So we're experiencing some technical difficulties. let's see if you go through, you will find Zelle on the tab on the main menu on the tab transfer/move money. And it's the last link here where it says send money with Zelle. Not working. Let me try again. Right. So transfer/move money, you navigate to send money with Zelle. And then first, Zelle will have you read the terms and conditions for the product. It will give you the full disclosure of the service. And then you need to establish what token you would like to be using for Zelle. And by token, I mean an email address or a US phone number. It's important to remind that Zelle, it's for sending and receiving money to and from US financial institutions only. And you would have to have a US email, an US mailing address on file with us in order to use Zelle. So here, when you're done setting up what email and phone number you would like to use for Zelle, and as well as what account you would like to use for Zelle, your checking versus savings account, you then can choose between send, request, or split. And you can add new contacts here. And to add a new contact, all you need is the first last name for the person and or the mobile number. You can also add it with their account number, but the easiest way is to just add their name and their email, or the name and their mobile number. And then they will show here on a list of contacts. So when you're ready to send or request or split money with somebody, then you will click on them. You will type up what is the amount that you want to send in this case. And then you also choose what account you want to be sending that money from. You can also schedule that payment for a later date if it doesn't need to be immediate. If you say that you just want to send it tomorrow, you can select tomorrow or any other day in the future. And then you go and review, continue, add a reason here. Let's say that my reason is test. It's important to remind you that this person will only receive the money immediately if they are also enrolled with Zelle. So you have to check in if they have Zelle before you add them as a contact, because if you try to send the money but they don't have Zelle, then the money is not going to go immediately. They have to make sure that they're also in the Zelle network for this to happen seamless. If they don't have Zelle, then they will get an email saying that we're trying to send them money, and then they should enroll in Zelle in order to receive it. So here, I'm using my own account to test, and I'm already enrolled with Zelle. So when I click here on send, it will schedule, and then I'll receive the funds on the day that I selected. It's also very important to remind that Zelle, you should only use Zelle for sending money to people that you know and trust. So if you don't know the person, if you don't trust them, don't send the money. Sending money with Zelle is just like sending cash. It is very difficult to retrieve once it's sent. So here, the money will be available, and I'll click all done. You can do that also for requesting. So let's say I don't want to send money, I want to request money. So now we're on the tab request. Let's say I want to request that money back. I can, it has to be $5 or more. Let's say I want to request $5 to this account. So I'll review. I'll ask for I'll Also provide a reason and then a request. There, it's requested. So on my end, on my account, I'll see that IDB Global FCU test account has requested $5 from me, and I can decide whether I want to pay or I want to decline. If I decline, then this transaction will be canceled, will be void. And if I don't, if I pay, then the money will arrive on this account. And something really cool that you can do with Zelle too is split. Let's say we went out for dinner or for lunch, or we bought a gift for a friend in common or something like that. And I paid for it, and I would like to request that money, half of that money, let's say, from somebody. So I can select the person I want to split that bill with and then enter the amount. And let's say the amount was $50. I'll have $50 here. And then when I review, I'll see that each person is paying $25. So if I'm just splitting with someone else, Zelle just wants to know the total so that they can split by half. And this is a really easy example, but if you're splitting between many people and the amount is a big amount, then it's very useful for that. So in this case, when let's say this, I'm saying birthday gift as the reason. When I split, then the other person will be requested $25 to pay me back. Splitting $50, requesting 25, half of that to the other person. All done. Here in activity, you will see all of the payments that have been sent, requested. Any activity that you did with Zelle will be listed here, and also the status. This split was sent, this request was sent, and this payment was scheduled. And on settings, this is where you can add a different email. You can't change a phone number because it's already enrolled, but you can add a different phone number, or you can change the account you're sending and receiving money to and from. And that is Zelle. If we still have some time, the last thing I want to show you is Bill Pay. Bill Pay will live right here, right next to my accounts in the main menu. If you're not enrolled in Bill Pay, first you have to sign up, but I'm already signed. Let me log out of here and sign into an account that already has Bill Pay. Go to Bill Pay. It will show here, you can add someone new to pay. If you add a person, then Bill Pay will be sending that person a check. If you select a business that you pay a bill to, as long as that business is in network with Bill Pay, you will send an electronic payment. So let's say, for instance, I want to add my Washington Gas account. Washington Gas is in network with Bill Pay, so it will work for me, and it will send them an electronic payment. It shows here in the drop down Washington Gas. So I'll click in Washington Gas, and I'll add, and then I will find my Washington Gas bill, and I will add the account number for my gas bill here. Then confirm. Then the nickname, I'm going to call it gas, and then I'll add the payee. So it was successfully added, but it will not integrate with Washington Gas right away. it will take some time to sync with my Washington Gas account. You can also enroll for eBill. And what happens here is I will no longer have to sign on to Washington Gas in order to pay and view my Washington Gas bill. I can just do it straight from online banking via bill pay. So here I would be adding my credentials for Washington Gas, my email address and password, confirm the password, and then get my e-bill delivered here. It means that now I'll be able to see and pay my Washington Gas bill from online banking. So that is saving you on having to log in another platform, just like money management, how money management will sync with other external accounts that you have. And then you're able to see that balance in money management. But the difference that with bill pay, you can not only see your bill, you can also pay your bill straight from online banking, which is really cool. And then here, this icon means that this is going to be an electronic payment. If you select a business that is not in network with bill pay, then they will be sending a paper check to the business. So it works better and more seamless if the business is enrolled with bill pay. So let's say, for instance, I want to add Comcast. It's listing Comcast here. So it means that it will be a quicker payment because it will be electronic payment. Let's say I'm trying to pay Verizon. It shows Verizon on the drop down. So it means that this would be an electronic payment as well. It will show as the more accounts that you add on bill pay, it will show you a bigger list here. So if you use bill pay for all of your bills, you will see a longer list. There's also a little calculator here to do some calculations about your bill. You can manage your accounts that you want to be paying. Oops, something broke here. There are also really cool alerts in bill pay that will remind you to pay your bill if it's not automatic. Reminders and alerts. And you can add what reminders and alerts you want to receive. When a payment is due, for instance, when your bill activation is successful. For instance, I just added my Washington Gas bill, but it will still take some time to activate my bill and sync and connect. So I will receive an email because this is checked for when the bill activation is successful. It will also send me an alert from when the payment is made. So you want to make sure that when it goes through, even though it's automatically, you want to know about it, you get an email notification with it, and so on and so forth. We don't have much more time to go over this, but I want to make sure that if we have any questions, they get answered. I don't see any questions in the bubble, but.
So Solange, there are no questions. I think you're good, right? We went through everything?
Yes, we went through everything and more.
Everything and more. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Solange, for all the amazing display of all the products and services we have to offer to our members. Also making sure they have all of this information at their fingertips. So amazing stuff. Thank you again. To our members, please make sure to remember that you will receive a recording of this webinar in your email if you did sign up. And we also have more webinars at idbglobalfcu.org. Take a look, as we will be posting this video there, as well as sending it out to everybody who registered, and make sure you sign up for all the amazing webinars that we have scheduled throughout the year. Webinars pop up all the time, so please make sure you go back to that page. If there are no questions, I want to thank everybody. Please make sure that you fill out the survey, and thank you for coming. Take care, everyone.